And now a horror movie that's a who's who of who was. Hello and welcome to RotD Review of the Day, and today I am taking a look at the 2018 anthology horror film American Nightmares. This is, as it turns out, a movie that, in my opinion, has a strong note to it, but it tries to make an entire song out of the same note over and over, and that is its biggest failing. To get into more details of this, let's get into the categories. As always, 4 different categories, each one worth up to 25 points for a total possible score of 100 points. And the plot of this one follows, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 storylines with a binding storyline, the 8th one between them. And I've been reviewing some anthology horrors lately that don't even try for the binding storyline, the center storyline that takes us down the path of each individual short, and I frankly don't enjoy those as much. I really think that is a critical element of a good anthology horror, is to have a centrally binding storyline, even if it's something like a radio DJ in a booth, just kind of introducing them as they go on. And this one has the central binding storyline of 2 hackers that infiltrate people's surveillance systems and record their private lives and then ransom them as blackmail. Then they get their screens hacked by these malevolent forces of Danny Trejo and Nichelle Nichols that decide to take them down these paths of morality tales in the 7 stories that follows, which is Mates, The Prosecutor, Hate Radio, White Flight, The Samaritan, The Healer, and Thy Will Be Done. Now, I gave the plot a 7 out of 25, and I'm not going to go over each one individually, and there's a few reasons for that, but I think principally the reason is it's not necessary. All of these were comeuppance shorts. They were bad people that bad things wound up happening to in ironic fashion. That's it. You had people that, were racist or, or bad faith healers, things like that. And they find ways that the universe has a horrific supernatural way of turning things on their head and making it an ironic punishment. It's very reminiscent of Twilight Zone-esque things. If you're racist, then all of a sudden, now you're going to be afflicted by something that the world is racist against you on. Surprise, surprise. And although that may work in 1 or 2 of the shorts, having all 7 as comeuppance shorts, it got really tiresome really fast. Even the Twilight Zone knew well enough to pepper those throughout and then have other different types of storylines going there, the thought experiments and what ifs and highlighting the essential essence of mankind's terrible nature and things like that, without actually getting into an individual's personal foibles. I don't know. It struck me as not lazy, just one note. And I really had trouble enjoying it. It turned it from something that I was kind of okay with it at the beginning, and then mostly just wanting it to end. And then I saw that there was one more storyline, and then one more storyline. Please. Oh, well, that's a bad person on the screen. I bet something bad's going to happen to them that's ironic. Yep, there it is. Okay. Oh, a new storyline. Well, there's a bad person on the screen. I bet something bad's going to happen to them that's ironic. Whoop, there it is. And so on. And although it was a strong plot in some of the stories there, as a cohesive movie, as an anthology, it was tiresome. So 7 out of 25. The Intent, I gave a 14 out of 25. This did succeed in being a bit of a hammy Twilight Zone-esque movie, but again, it just kept hammering away at the same message over and over and over. So whatever elements of it that were interesting, by the end of it just didn't much care anymore. So I would say The Intent, it achieved it, but I'm just going to, it wasn't scary, and by the end it wasn't interesting. So yeah, fairly average, 14 out of 25. The acting, I would say not bad. kind of hammy. Some of the performances were kind of phoned in. This was a really impressive cast, actually. This had all sorts of people in it that, I'm not too surprised to see them in something that is a little bit low budget, but even so, it was a joy to watch them on the screen. Danny Trejo, Nichelle Nichols, Chris Kattan, Jay Moore, Vivica A. Fox. The list was actually pretty long of really solid quality actors that you just don't see in a whole lot anymore. I think one of the standouts that I actually want to specifically mention as being good was Chris Kattan's performance. He had a pretty good, dark, sinister, dramatic role in this that I really, really liked. And yeah, it took it to silly levels towards the end of the segment, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to go out on a limb, and if any Hollywood what have yous are watching this, I would love to see Chris Kattan as the lead in a full-length, dark drama movie. I think that he could really pull it off. His performance in this sold me, and I really loved it. So that's the standout. I gave the acting 15 out of 25, about average, all told. And the technical, I gave a 13 out of 25. Also, nothing really stand out, just kind of average. The special effects were meh. The body effects were meh. The camera work and the editing was kind of meh. It was just nothing to write home about, but nothing awful terrible at the same time. So that gives us a total score of 49 out of 100 points. This hit a strong mark, but it kept hitting it over and over to the point where it was just noise by the end of it. And I think that's really unfortunate. I think that it really should have been better than it was. But that's my review of American Nightmare. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I welcome you to leave comments below. If you like these reviews, I welcome you to click like and or subscribe. And just overall, thank you for joining me today. It really does mean a lot to me. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.